Hey everyone, how are you? All right. It looks like they had an awful event here in Jacksonville, so right in my hometown. I've got it pulled up on the screen. You should be able to see it there. So it looks like FBI's called in. There's a racially motivated shooting, and they killed three black people from the way it looks. I haven't seen, like in Jacksonville, I haven't seen a lot of crimes like this in a very long time, especially racially motivated. I know our city, like many other cities, in the U.S., has had their issues with crime. Um, but at least I've just missed it on my news feeds. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this, especially racially motivated. Thankfully, it's been a while since I've seen anything like this. Um, Shooting that killed three people inside a Family Dollar. So I pulled it up. Well, we'll just go to the article first, and I'll go over there. Um, because I know Edward Waters is involved, so let's get to that. But yeah, three people killed allegedly because racially motivated. So we'll see here. This story goes on. White man armed with a high-powered rifle and a handgun. So right away, you can tell this guy went here with intent, right? You don't take that kind of uh, armory with you, unless you're intending to do some harm. So discount store just before 2 p.m., middle of the day, should be very busy. Shot and killed two men and a woman before fatally shooting himself. Okay. So he went there heavily armed to commit a racially provoked attack. Kills two men and a woman who I'm assuming he doesn't know these people at all, right? He doesn't know these people. He just went there. So he kills three people that he has no idea who they are. Has no idea who their family is, what kind of jobs they have, what kind of life they've led. Knows nothing about them other than the fact that they're black, right? So all he sees is the color of their skin. Walks in there and kills them. Three people. Those people had no idea what was going to happen that day. They're just walking around. They're at the store 2 p.m. on a Saturday, and then some guy comes in who's of a different complexion and decides that he hates them because they're black, and then takes a high-powered rifle and a handgun and shoots them to death right in the store. And the guy, it's not like this was a crime of passion. The guy drove to the store, right? I mean, this isn't like an accident. He didn't accidentally get that rifle and that handgun on him and take into the store. So he went there intentionally to kill people because of the color of their skin, which is insanity. So apparently his brain is, he's been brainwashed by media, social media. Who knows? Who knows who got to him? People in his town. Maybe something happened to him when he was younger. Who knows? I don't know the guy. But somehow, somewhere along the way, this guy was brainwashed to the point where he would throw his life away and his soul to go kill innocent people because they're a different color. Even though God made all of us, right? God made all of us. Made, me, I'm white, made these black folks, every other race and color you can possibly think of. But if you look at nature, it's pretty easy to see that God loves variety, right? Look at the biodiversity in nature. It's no different with us. We're part of nature. That's why we're all different. Just look around the world, you'll see that's how it was created. Let's see. Homeland Security condemned the shooting, saying the department's closely monitoring the situation. Too many Americans in Jacksonville and across the country have lost loved ones because of racially motivated. Yeah, maybe I should have looked that up. As far as like racially motivated, like I said in the news, I just haven't seen a lot of it recently. I know like years ago it was a big deal and there was rioting and things like that. And it was a huge issue, but at least to me, it seemed like it died down a little bit. So I haven't seen too many headlines like this recently, which is good. Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters told a news conference the shooter hated black people. So this is coming from the sheriff. They probably have access to, whatever documents he left behind, his digital footprint. So it's pretty easy to figure out, especially in a situation like this. Like once you've committed a crime like this and they open all your books up and look at all your digital footprints, it's easy to figure out, what somebody had in their heart by like their website searches and the web pages they went to, the people they associated with, things that they said online, stuff like that. It's easy to figure out because everything leaves a footprint. So your whole life is digital. It's, in this day and age, it's pretty easy to figure out. So if the sheriff is saying he hated black people, pretty good chance that's accurate. See, Warder said the shooter, who was in his 20s, used a Glock handgun and an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, with at least one of the firearms painted with a swastika. Okay, well, yeah, this is quite clear. So one of his guns had a swastika painted on there, right? So this guy's an absolute racist, or at least he wanted to look like one. But I will say from his actions, it's pretty much assured at this point. So this guy is brainwashed, maybe part of some like white supremacist group. Who knows? Could have been like one of the lone wolves. They say those are even harder to find. So either way, this idiot's out there with a swastika painted on his gun, and he goes and mows down innocent people. So the shooter left behind several manifestos for the media, his parents and law enforcement, detailing his hatred for black people. The writings led investigators to believe he had committed the shooting because it was the 5th anniversary of another Jacksonville shooting. Okay, so he hated black people. He left a manifesto, so at least they can try to figure out like what happened in this guy's life to where he got let off the path and decided to go do something like this. I can tell you right now, the guy's not a Christian, so that's the first thing he did to, incorrectly. It doesn't look like he had any kind of relationship with God at all. Zero. Because if he did, he would know that it's a God of peace, and you would never go murder God's children who you don't even know because of the color of their skin, which was given to them by God, right? We're all created beings. So he had a religion problem, which led to all of this because his heart was messed up. But thankfully he left manifestos so they can go through there and hopefully figure out, and that combined with digital footprints, figure out like where this guy got off course and what happened to make him go do something evil like this. This is an evil act. Maybe he had mental issues. Who knows? I mean, what sane person would go do this? But it seems like the biggest issue here is just his hatred of black people. So it would be interesting to go back and rewind his life and go back and watch it and see how that happened and how many events made that happen and where it happened. But it got him here. And also the 5th anniversary of a Jacksonville shooting. So I guess maybe symbolism. He wanted there to be like some symbolic meaning by being on the anniversary of the of the Jacksonville shooting. So I don't know what that's about. The hate that motivated the shooter's killing spree adds an additional layer of heartbreak. Yeah, knowing that people out there still exist like this, that hate people because of the color of their skin, when in actuality, God created all of us. So that's incorrect. Shooter driven there from neighboring Clay County shortly before the attack. Drove all the way from Clay County with the guns in the car, right? This is not like an act of passion. He went there to do this. Apparently with the intent of killing himself, which is insane. Because you're going to create this level of sin. You're going to murder innocent people based on racial reasons. You're going to kill them. Thou shalt not murder. You're going to go murder. And then you're going to kill yourself where you don't even have a chance to ask for forgiveness and to atone for what you've done to try to make it right. You don't have any more time in your life to try to offset any of that. You murdered these people and then you killed yourself, right? And God gave you that life. So you committed another sin by committing suicide. So now you've got 3 murders and a suicide, and you hate God's children because of the color of their skin. So you've done all that wrong. You stacked all that sin on yourself, on your soul. And then you kill yourself. So you have no chance to ask for forgiveness, no chance to come to your senses, no chance to offset it. It's done. You punched your ticket. It's done. You don't have any more opportunities in your vessel to fix any of that. You took all those options off the table by being selfish and agreeing to kill yourself after you selfishly killed all of these people. So this guy, obviously I feel bad for the people he killed, but you have to also feel bad for this guy because of how badly he just screwed up. And now he has no option to fix it. None. Now it's between him and God, where he ends up, and what the rest of his journey in eternity looks like. And judging from this article, it doesn't look positive at all. I would say that he's not having a good time right now. Probably a pretty bad time. And he also did this to his family. I would hope they don't think like this. I don't know them, but I would hope they don't think like this. But whatever family and friends he left behind, the shooter, now they have to deal with this stigma. This is your family member, this is your friend that went out there and committed a racial atrocity by shooting these people. Shooter had been seen at a nearby historically black college, Edward Waters, where he put on his tactical vest and a mask. Wow. So he had the AR-15, the pistol, tactical vest, and a mask. So this guy went there, to do exactly what he did. Let's see, I'll look at the map here just so we can see kind of where he was. There's Edward Waters. That's like where the soccer fields are. Edward Waters is down here. So this is the university down here. I think they got satellite offices too. But this is the athletic complex. And where is it? Yeah, Dollar General right here. So I guess the interesting thing is he went to Edward Waters to put all this gear on, which is strange. Unless he went there to shoot people there, to shoot students. And maybe he couldn't find them because it was the weekend. I'm not sure. It's just odd that he went there to put the vest on and everything. It's a strange location. And then to go to a Dollar General. So maybe he went there to shoot people. Maybe he, in his mind, I'm pretty sure geared up like this, he might have wanted this to be like a bigger event than it was. Even though 3 lives lost, it's absolutely tragic. But, when you're trying to mimic other past crimes, they're always trying to like one-up each other to be more famous, right? Chasing fame. So who knows? Maybe he went there to find victims and he couldn't. I don't know. But he left there. They're talking about here or here, but either way, went down the street. And what's really strange is he passed a Family Dollar. So if he really wanted to go to like a dollar store or something like that, he passed a Family Dollar. He didn't go there. He goes all the way down here to this Dollar General and then kills them there. So it's a very strange event. Can't tell you what his mindset was while he was there, but he did go there. Yeah, probably to kill people, I would guess. Why else would he go? He hated black people. It's a historically black college, so it seems like a target-rich environment. So for someone who wanted to do evil, it seems like that would be a place where they would go. It's a dark day in Jacksonville's history. There's no place for hate in this community. Well, yeah, in the world. Sickened by this cowardly shooter's personal ideology. Yeah. Let's go background. Yeah, you act like that. What do you expect? This guy killed himself rather than face the music and accept responsibility for his actions. He took the coward's way out. That's not really true, Ron. He didn't take the coward's way out. He apparently doesn't believe in the ever after and eternity and how things work. And I don't think he believes in God. I would have to guess just by the way he acted. Because you would never be stupid. It's not the coward's way out. He's facing his music right now. While you're watching this video, at whatever time it is where you are, he's facing the music right now. And that music will continue to play. Because he went into, with hate in his heart, because of someone's skin color. He drove out with these guns and a mask and a vest and all that. He went out there and he killed these innocent people that he didn't know. Had no idea who they were. He murdered them. So he took the rest of their lives and their vessel off the table because he killed them. And now they're, they had to go account for their life, and then God will make decisions on where they end up. But he didn't take the coward's way out. He's facing the music right now. And unfortunately for himself, he murdered 3 people on the way out, and then he killed himself. So he had hate in his heart, he murdered 3 innocent people, and then he murdered himself by committing suicide. So he took all that sin into himself, into his soul. He took that debt on, and then he killed himself. So he has no chance in this current vessel where he was. He has 0 chance to offset it. He can't mature and say, I was wrong, and apologize to God, and try to make amends and do good works to try to offset some of that. He doesn't have that option. It's off the table. It's done. And then he killed himself, so now he has to face the music. And it's up to God to judge his life. And he's going to have to go back. When he passed, he's going to have to see his entire life flash in front of his eyes. No eyes at that point, but you know what I mean. He'll see his entire life and the objective truth of all of his decisions and who they impacted and how that worked, and he'll get to see it like God sees it, which is the absolute truth. So it's going to crush him. And then, got to deal with the consequences. Because those decisions were made with free will. So that's the way it works. So it wasn't a coward's way out. He's dealing with that right now. Penny Jones told the AP she worked at the Dollar General until a few months ago. She lives a few blocks away. Yeah. Predominantly black neighborhood. Yeah, which is why he went there. That's why he went to Edward Waters. That's why he went to that Dollar General. It's, like they said, predominantly black neighborhood per this person. Special agent in charge of the Jacksonville FBI said federal officials would open a civil rights investigation and would pursue the incident as a hate crime. Yeah, I mean, it's, of course, seems like seems like an absolute hate crime here, for sure. I mean, this one's very clear. Hate crimes are always and will always remain a top priority for the FBI because they're not only an attack on the victim, they're also meant to threaten and intimidate an entire community. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah. So it's not even that these people he killed, that's not only sin. Now he's put fear in the heart of people that live in that environment. Hopefully they're not scared, right? If you live right with God, when these vessels eventually expire, and they will, as long as you lived a holy life and you're good with God and you're okay with the decisions you've made and you're okay with, weighing those scales once your life is over, you have nothing to fear. Eternity is a long time. And if you're right with God and you're a good person, you do good things, you have nothing to worry about. But what he was trying to do is instill fear into the entire community. And he's probably trying to stoke up racial hatred in other people, right? Because now, because of what he did, maybe in these communities, maybe they're going to start to hate white people, because of what this one idiot did. Hopefully not. Sorry. My throat is just dry this morning. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully not. But I'm sure some people will, right? They're going to remember this white guy came in here with 2 guns, a tactical vest and a mask on, and just started killing people with a swastika on the gun. So that's going to leave an impression on people, for sure. But hopefully they realize it's just one person who had a whole lot of evil inside his mind and his soul to go do something like this. And things definitely went wrong in his life. And it would be really interesting to go back from like the first day of his life and watch it all the way through to yesterday. And how many little things added up to make him hate people, black people, this much. How the wrong influences got to him, or whatever the case may be. But it would be interesting. Shooting happened 5 years to the day when a gunman opened fire during a video game tournament in Jacksonville. I remember that. That was a weird one. During a video game tournament, killing 2 people before fatally shooting himself. Yeah. I don't know what was up with that video game tournament, but I guess it was 5 years ago. So maybe the symbolism, he just was, because of that shooting, he wanted to kind of piggyback on that. And this guy was another guy, right? Making a really stupid decision. You go kill people, you go murder, right? Thou shalt not murder. So you go murder with wrath in your heart, obviously. You go murder, and then you kill yourself. So you murdered yourself. Now you have no chance to offset it. Not to even try, right? Could you even? That's between you and God. By all means, ask for forgiveness, but that's a lot of sin to stack on yourself. But you have no chance to try to offset that at all. It's done. You killed yourself. It's game over in this vessel. Right? So, my heart goes out to the community. I'll be praying for them that they don't let this incident impact the way they think about other white people or any other race, right? Any other race. You can't let one bad apple spoil the bunch, and that's what this guy is. It's one guy who, somewhere in his life, along the way, got some really bad ideas just put into his mind from what he read, what he saw online, who knows. Message boards, things like that. But somewhere along the way, his mind got infected, and that racism virus got in there. And, he decided that apparently there was no God and there was going to be no penalty for what he did. So he went out and killed innocent people and then killed himself. And now he's paying for it in whatever way God sees fit. But I guarantee you, when you act like this and you do evil acts like this and you try to spread fear amongst his children, there are prices to be paid. And he's paying those right now. So if anybody out there is thinking about doing anything stupid like this, I would seriously recommend that you reevaluate your relationship with God and understand that you do things like this, you pay for them. You have to, otherwise the system wouldn't be fair. Right? It's the same reason that prisoners, murderers go to prison once they're convicted. There are penalties. We have free will, and you can do good things or you can do bad things. And each of those things that you do will have consequences. You can have good consequences or bad consequences. And some actions like this have very, very bad consequences, and they should, because you earned it. You do really good things in your life, and you earn really good rewards along your eternal journey. You do really bad things, you get really bad rewards on your eternal journey. So you have a choice, and you have free will. But I recommend that you make very good decisions, and I recommend that you pray for guidance from God to show you what you should be doing. And if you have a good relationship with God and you pray, you'll be okay. You'll make the right decisions because you will have God in your life and God in your heart. And God will show you what you're supposed to be doing and will guide you, will provide guidance. This person that, committed this atrocity, he didn't have God in his heart. There's no way. I don't think this guy had any kind of Holy Spirit inside of him at all to go do something like this. And for him, the game is over. It's too late. He committed the crime. He killed himself, which committed another crime in God's eyes. But basically 4 murders. And now he's gone out of his vessel. And now he has to deal with God, as we all will when we die. We have to account for our life. And from that point, we move on. So, Ron, he didn't, it's not the coward's way out. Trust me. He's paying for it right now. So, I'll be praying for everybody in the community that they don't let this one incident change the way they think about other people. God made all of us. All the colors, all the sizes, everything. If you look at nature and you look at us, right? Us, the animals, the planet, the flowers, everything. Look at all the variety out there. And understand that it's like a triangle. And at the very top, there's God. Right? At the very, very top, there's God. And then everything else is created outward, right? All little variations. So if you look at all that variety, you have to know that God loves variety. God loves biodiversity. Otherwise, why would it look like this, right? All those various types of flowers and people and plants and the earth and everything. Everything doesn't look the same, does it? Everything looks different because that's how it was created. So, definitely pray for your friends, family, everyone who's dealing with this. I know it's got national attention, and it should. Because, like I said, I haven't seen many stories like this recently, and that was a very positive thing. I was very happy about that. But here we go. It happened again. So, apparently these racists are still out there. It's not just whites. I'm sure they're in every color. There's people out there that they're broken inside. And they think that other people are out to get them just because of the color of their skin, which is idiotic. But, unfortunately for this guy, he committed some heinous crimes and he killed himself. And now he's dealing with it. So don't be that person. And understand that you can't judge someone just because of the color of their skin. That means nothing. You don't know anything about them. These people, he knew nothing about them. These could have been the nicest people in the world. They probably were. But he never knew that because he never got to know them. He just walked in there and started shooting. Right? Get to know people. This tells you nothing. Until you interact with someone, then you'll understand who they are and you kind of see how they operate in the world and who they help and who they don't and everything else. But you can't just base it on how they look. That's ridiculous. And we're not all the same, right? I'm white and there are lots of other people who are white And we don't act the same. We're all different. And all black people are not the same, and all whatever. I'm not going to go down the list, but it doesn't matter. Like, you need to get to know people. You can't judge people just on their vessel. That's ridiculous. And I would hope that people know this by now, but, apparently they don't. So, praying for all those people that, are dealing with this. Those 3 people that got killed, that walked out and didn't know that they were going to get shot down that day. I'm praying for your family and your friends that they have peace. And, for everyone else, we never know. Like I've said before, we don't know what day is going to be our last day. And I don't want you to assume this is going to happen, but at some point in time, these vessels will expire for one reason or another, as they're designed to. Right? So just make sure that you have a good relationship with God. Ask for guidance. Pray. Prayers do work. Audible or in your head, doesn't matter. Still gets them. So just make sure you're right with God, because one day our vessels expire. And we need to be ready for that so that we can account for our life and be happy and look back and be proud of what we've done. And then we'll go on to the next leg of the journey. But that's it. Have a wonderful Sunday, and we'll talk next time.